Greetings, Quiche-lings, and Happy New Year's Eve to anyone in the Western Hemisphere. This is my review of Attack on Titan, Chapter 101, The Warhammer. And I have to say, the hammer was dropped. And then the hammer was dropped on the hammer. But who's the nail now? Miss I don't know her name. But anyway, starts off Eren ate Willy, which caused a bit of misunderstanding for me later on. Luckily, a commenter gave me the clarification, so thank you again. I'll explain that a little bit later. Anyway, after doing that, he just dive bombs into the crowd, killing, I assume, all of the military brass, because we later find out that they're all dead. And probably killing a lot of other members in the crowd as well, which then causes the remaining onlookers to flee in terror, as you do. In the aftermath of Eren's attack, we see the warrior candidates kind of scrambling from the, explosive impact. And we see Zofia. That name just don't sound right to me ever. It sounds like Zelda and Sophie had a baby, but nothing. Turns out she was crushed by a large piece of the debris. Colt tries to get Yudo and Gabby to safety, but Yudo worries about Zofia because it's like, she'll be alright, right? Half her body has been smashed by a giant rock. No. Thought he was the smart one, but I guess not. Anyway, before they get moving, the crowd starts stampeding their direction, which then separates Colt and Gabby from Yudo. Yudo smashes his head on the same frickin' rock. That's a dangerous rock, I tell you. Which then, funny thing is, later we see Colt and Gabby hiding behind a rock, which it would not surprise me if it was the same frickin' rock. Jesus. Or Peter, because wasn't he the rock of Jesus? So, hey, religious reference in there for you. Meanwhile, Willy's sister, who we never learned her name as far as I know, but I may have to go re-look at the chapter where we met the Typhor family, so it might be there, but other than that, I don't think so. She's watching Eren's rampage, and she commends her brother for his sacrifice, and then it's revealed she has the power of the Warhammer Titan. I totally overlooked this when I was doing my reaction, so sorry about that. I did notice the lightning or the electricity coming off of her, but for some reason it just did not click with me. Well, anyway, when she transforms, it's a very nice panel of her, the muscle forming on the legs and the rest being skeletal. And just kind of floating there, to be honest. So, yeah, but how I thought she wasn't the Titan was, I thought, only part of Willy had been eaten, so then, the other half, regenerated itself, maybe? And then he transformed, but, that's just my weird brain. Let's see here. Okay, Eren rushes in, decks her in the face, then proceeds to, once she was down, pummel her using his, I guess you could call it hardened brass knuckles. Or biological brass knuckles, I guess would be a better term. That sounds cool. Then we move over McGrath's group. They're starting to get reports from... Some of it was kind of obvious, the Warhammer Titan is attacking, that it was seriously injured, and the military leaders that were present are all dead. So, which was kind of obvious when you looked at it. These dudes do have binoculars. But but other topics were evacuating like key personnel and finding the location of the candidate warriors because they have no idea where their location is. And then he just kind of fires his rifle at Eren, like, what? And he even says, it's like a pea shooter, man, but hey, at least I took the first shot. It'll be the signal of our counterattack. Which, guess sounds cool if you're a human, but, you know, from a reader's point of view, it doesn't sound as cool. Not to say I'm not a human, or am I? But anyway, that it was just stupid. He commands the soldiers to go to Paradise Island because it would be more time efficient, and to man their battle stations. So what are they doing? We see the battle stations part later. I don't get the whole going to Paradise Island. Anyway, and then he's like, I want you to remember that I took the first shot, which I think I already said. Anyway, then we have the Warhammer Titan creating a giant barbed spire, which I think is probably about rivals the Colossal Titan in height. Maybe not, because it was a little, like, diagonal, but close enough. Very tall spire. It speared Eren right through the torso. And I was like, holy crap, what? So, I guess one of my other assumptions at the beginning of my reaction was like, what kind of powers does the Warhammer have? And I guess it was number 3, which is essentially creating biological weapons of sorts. Not just a hammer, which we did finally get to see it. Which is like a long Warhammer polearm, it looked like. That has, which I still don't know what it's called, but like the wooden or metal hammers that you use in a kitchen to like soften meat. It looked like that, except much more brutal. Anyway, we move back to Colt's group. They're continuing on amongst the panicked crowd, who some of them are like, are we at war? And they're seeking a hospital for Yudo because, well, he's frickin' looks like he's missing half his face. Wondering where Falco's disappeared to, which I'd say he's probably the safest, or he might be dead from the falling debris of the building that Eren destroyed when he transformed. So there's a few possibilities for him. Elsewhere, we see in the shifter trap, Peck and Porco, they can tell through like the rumblings, they're underground obviously, and that the fight has begun. And when questioned how they'll get out or get help, it actually arrives in the form of some people that Peck had talked to, which a few chapters ago we saw her talking to them when they were heading off to that trap, and she suspected something was off, so she enlisted their help. Good thing she did, I guess. And that scene now makes sense, because it was very odd when I read it. She was suspicious of a following soldier that had like a neck, or not a neck, a jawline beard, which, to be honest, I don't quite recall him actually having a beard. After the two were kind of caught up on the current events, they prepare to equip Peck with the like turret armor. But before they could really go any further, they see Paradise soldiers flying overhead with 3D gear, and Peck recognizes it. Then back at the Titan fight. Yeah, good night at the Titan fight. I need some water. Sorry about that. Anyway, back at the good old Titan fight. Now, we see Eren free himself from the spire. And Mitt got, spared for a moment from the hammer, which got swung at him. only to find spikes on the ground, impaling his feet. Further confirms that, yeah, this thing can... Either those are like smaller versions of the large spire we saw, and that's just kind of how it goes. So what, is it like a minefield, essentially? And then, like, whichever one happens to be in, close enough to the target, that one grows. Probably not, but interesting nonetheless. Should have called it just the Weapon Titan, if you wanted to be as honest about it. Anyway, seeing how this is all going down, McGrath's squad starts firing upon Eren with their, anti-Titan cannons and ammunitions and stuff, which apparently they've never used, it sounded like, which was kind of weird. And also he mentions that the old policy of reclaiming the Founding Titan, those days are over. The era of the Titans is over. Which just shows that, yeah, his authority is probably high up, and he's changing things. Anyway, then we see the Warhammer Titan break Eren's guard, and it takes his arms and head with it. Eren surfaces from the remains of the Titan body. Warhammer asks for any final words, and he calls Mikasa, who attacks the nape of her neck with a multi-shot thunder spear, it looked like. It might have been a more advanced version, but I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Then the Paradise soldiers start swarming McGrath's squad with a anti-personnel 3D gear. So probably that's who Peck and Porco had seen. Then the final moments were Eren being thankful to everyone coming to his aid, and Mikasa replies, "I want you to come home." And I have to say, Mikasa looked pretty awesome in that last couple of panels. We get a nice full body shot of her. She looks like she's cut her hair. That's probably the only thing I did not like, but we know she still has her scarf. And the armor looks pretty awesome. I guess they've gone Black Ops in the 4-year time skip, so very cool. Anyway, overall, the chapter was a 5 for 5 for me. I mean, I think the only part I didn't like was the constant panels in the beginning of people just running away and screaming. I was like, there's no dialogue. Could have had the narrator be like, they ran in terror. Something, It was just kind of the weak point of the whole thing. That and that rock, because it was killing everybody. Sorry about that. I have a throat lozenge. My head's a little stuffed up today. Also, it is below freezing here, so gotta take care of yourself. I hate those poor saps that are gonna have to go out on New Year's Eve tonight. But anyway, I'd say one of the best chapters, if not the best chapter of the year. 2017 anyway. Even though I guess this would be a 2018 chapter, but we won't talk about that. So, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Keishan Prime. And I'll see you guys in the new year. Keishlings, roll out.